It was a Tuesday, the kind of Tuesday where the sky can't quite decide if it wants to rain or merely threaten you with the idea of it. We stepped into the lobby of the Seagram Building. Our shoes echoed against the travertine floors with a hollow, expensive thud. The air here doesn't just smell like air, it smells like filtered oxygen, Santal 33, and the quiet, vibrating anxiety of men who manage more money than God, or at least more than the Vatican. Most people hear the word hedge fund and they think of a very exclusive gardening club, perhaps a group of gentlemen in linen suits debating the merits of a well-trimmed boxwood. We certainly did. But it turns out a hedge fund is actually just a collection of very smart, very tired people in very expensive chairs, all trying to find the one thing that the rest of the world has collectively decided to ignore. They call it alpha. We call it the ghost in the machine. Before we get to the titans, we must address the 2 and 20. It is the industry's holy communion. 2% of your capital just for the privilege of letting them keep the lights on, and 20% of your joy. Well, your profit. People scream about the fees at cocktail parties in the Hamptons, but then they quietly write the check anyway, because in a world of total anarchy, a sure thing is the only currency that doesn't depreciate. At the very peak of this jagged mountain sits Citadel, Ken Griffin's empire. They don't just trade, they operate a pod shop. Imagine a gladiatorial arena, but instead of tridents and nets, everyone has a PhD in astrophysics from Stanford. There are hundreds of these pods, each one a tiny self-contained cell of capitalism. If your pod makes money, you are rewarded with a Ferrari and a pat on the back. If your pod loses money, well, your security badge stops working by noon. It is a brutal, beautiful, and terrifyingly efficient way to compound wealth at 19% a year. Now, you ever hear about those guys over at Renaissance Technologies? Jim Simons. He was a code breaker, a math genius. He looked at the stock market, which to me looks like a bunch of numbers doing a dance they don't know the steps to, and he said, "This isn't finance, this is a physics problem." He started the Medallion Fund. It's closed to the public. You can't get in, even if you're the king of Siam. They'll tell you to kick rocks. They've returned something like 66% a year before fees. That's not investing. That's finding a glitch in the simulation. It's like playing poker against a guy who can see through the back of your cards, and also he's the one who printed the cards. It's a magic trick, performed by people who cooperate with the laws of thermodynamics. I asked a guy once how they do it. He told me they use hidden Markov models. I told him I have a hidden debt model. It's where I hide the bills from my bookie underneath the sofa cushion. So far, the returns they've been distressed. Then we have Millennium, Izzy Englander. Millennium is where the concept of risk management goes to become a religion. If a trader loses 3% of their capital, their desk is liquidated before they can finish their lunch. It is a market-neutral strategy, meaning they don't care if the world is ending or if they found a way to turn lead into gold. They only care about the spread. They are the house. And as the saying goes, the house always wins, especially when the house has 1,000 geniuses working in shifts. Then there's the philosopher king, Ray Dalio, Bridgewater Associates. They practice something called radical transparency. This means every meeting is recorded, every argument is public, and you are encouraged to tell your superior that their logic is flawed and that their tie is particularly hideous. Radical transparency. I tried that with my wife. I told her, "Honey, in the spirit of radical transparency, I think your sister is much more pleasant to be around." Now I'm practicing radical solitude in the guest bedroom. It's a very high conviction strategy. Bridgewater bets on the economic machine. They look at the debt cycles, currency devaluations, and the rise and fall of empires. They are the historians of the future. While others are looking at the next quarter, Dalio is looking at the next century. It is a global macro strategy that has turned their pure alpha fund into a legend of the industry. We must not forget D.E. Shaw. This was the birthplace of modern quant trading and the former employee of a young man named Jeff Bezos. They were the first to realize that a computer could see a trade 3 seconds before a human could even blink. And across the street, metaphorically speaking, is Steve Cohen's Point 72. They are the masters of the mosaic. They gather 10,000 tiny pieces of information, the shipping manifests in Shanghai, the satellite imagery of Walmart's parking lots, and the tone of the CEO's voice during an earnings call, and they assemble them into a picture of the future. It is clear. Then come the activists, Chris Hone at TCI and Paul Singer at Elliott Management. They don't wait for the market to move, they move the market. If a company is underperforming, TCI will buy 10% of it and send a letter to the board that reads like a declaration of war. Paul Singer's Elliott Management once seized a naval vessel belonging to the government of Argentina to settle a debt. This is what you call high conviction investing. It's not just a trade, it's a siege. 2 Sigma treats the stock market like a massive data science problem, using AI to parse alternative data, weather patterns, credit card swipes, and social media sentiment. Meanwhile, the tiger cubs like Viking Global follow the old school path, fundamental research. They meet the CEOs, they walk the factory floors. They bet on people. It is a more human approach. It is an increasingly digital world. So why pay the fees? Why give 20% of your wealth to a man in a Navy suit who already has everything? Because the edge isn't a secret formula. It is precision. It's knowing that a cerulean car is 4.2% more likely to be involved in a collision than a Navy one, and betting on the insurance company before the morning sun has ever hit the sidewalk. We live in a world that is mostly anarchy, governed by the whims of the crowd. These 10 funds are the attempt to find order in that chaos. They are expensive, they are secretive, and they are often ruthless. But in the end, truth is the only currency that doesn't depreciate. And if you can find the truth 5 minutes before anyone else, you don't just survive, you thrive. Okay, thanks for that.